Alright, in this video I will show you my whole collection of SH Figuarts Iron Man, my SH Figuarts Iron Man collection. Now only one figure is missing here, is the Hulkbuster Mark II. I don't have that at the moment, I'm not sure where it is, but everyone else is here. We have from Mark 1 to all the way to the final version of him dying at Mark 85. So I'm gonna go over these one by one, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Alright, just before I go into it, I just want to show you guys how they all look standing around here. And we're gonna have 85. This is only my collection. I am missing a few that I didn't buy, so yeah. So it's not like every single one that SH Figuarts made. This is just my collection of all the SHF Iron Man I own. Alright, first up we have Iron Man 1. I'm gonna go chronological order as the Mark and numerical order actually. So there's Mark 1, there's the box, there's the back, and here's a look at all the accessories that this figure comes with. Something I really like is that he comes with a pair of eyes, so you can switch it out. When he's on display you don't want eyes, but when he is in motion then you want to put the eyes in there. So that's really neat that SHF did for this figure. And then he comes with a pair of hands, so some flame effects, really nice. And let's take a quick look at the Mark itself. Love that paint job, looks fantastic. And here's the back side. And as far as articulation, he is very decent actually. With the armor being so bulky and stuff, he still have range of motion a little bit here and there, so he still can raise his arm, turn his head, fire flame effects. Legs, of course, it will be a little bit restricted due to the armor, and but knees, you can still bend it almost 90 degrees. So as far as articulation, this guy is quite good actually for what it is. So if you have this, congratulations, and if you don't, you might want to look into it. Alright, and here's Mark II with the box. It's a closed box, and then here it is on the back. And as far as accessories, this figure comes with back flaps, a bunch of hands with you would need to interchange the arm guard, the hand guard, and then it's got a couple of boost effects right here. And as for the figure, wow, it's really bright. Let me turn this down a little bit just to show you guys. He is silver paint. It's actually exactly the same as Mark III, except for the silver paint and a couple of dots they added in on the chest right there. As far as the figure itself, it's a really good figure. Articulation wise, it's very good, and that's a look at it. And range, pretty much what you can expect from SHF. Great articulation, and legs can be lowered, so he'll definitely give you one of those landing poses for sure. Like that. And if you look closely at this one, you might notice the paint job is a little different from the face mask to the head itself, because I had to repaint this face mask because it was messed up when I first received it, and I wasn't able to do an exchange or anything, so I attempted to repaint it myself, and did a somewhat of a poorly done job. And here's Iron Man Mark III and its box, and this is the original version. I know they came out with an updated version with a better paint job. Not sure whether they changed the height of it or not, but this is the original version of Mark III. And as far as accessory, it is identical to Mark II. We got flaps, flame effects, and then a bunch of hands with interchangeable arm guard. And wrist guard, or hand guard, and there's the figure itself. And I do like the paint job of this one. It is a little darker, not that bright red that a lot of people uses for Mark III. I think the gold is a little too dark though. That might be the case. And these figures has metal feet just to weigh it down, so that is nice. And then articulation wise is just as good as the Mark II. Exactly the same as the Mark II, and it also has lower legs that for him to do landing pose. So yeah, but as far as the figure, it is still holds up. I like it, and yeah, overall it looks fantastic. And next up we have Iron Man Mark IV. Here's the box. It comes with a lot of accessories, which I'll show in a sec. And here, back of the box. And as far as accessory, this one comes with quite a bit. We have back flaps, we have a neck piece, and then we have donuts, we have flame effects, and then we have a bunch of hands, and then here are these calves panels. And then we have two Stark heads, well, one head and one face. We have a glasses one, and then no glasses, and there's the figure. Now, as far as the figure, it looks just as good as the day I bought it, but joints are a little loose, especially around the legs. They are quite loose in the hip section. Everywhere else seems to be okay, except for the legs. They are just a little loose, and these also have metal feet for stability. And here's what Stark looks like in his Iron Man outfit with the glasses. I think the head sculpt is fantastic. Let's do a closer look at it. You can see how good that head sculpt is with the glasses on. And here's the head without the glasses. I think still he looks quite good for 1/12 scale, and likeness is still there. I could definitely tell you that's Robert Downey Jr. But I do prefer the head without with the glasses on. It's got gold highlights too. Next up, we have Iron Man Mark V. This is the armor that a lot of people like, and there's the box, and on the back. And as far as accessories, of course, this figure comes with the briefcase, and then same flame effects, and then same 3 set of hands, and there's the figure. And figure held up nicely. Silver paint, really like that. Silver and gold. It's one of my favorite. And then the face mask is just a lot nicer because it has more lines on him. You can see right there, really cool. I like all the lines on his face there. And then here you can see all the panels for Mark V, which is nice. That is a very, very nice design armor. And of course, we want to take a look at the briefcase. Even though it doesn't open, here's what it looks like. There's a handle, and you can have Tony Stark hold on to it. And again, it does not open up. There's the briefcase. And here's Mark VI. This is one of the very, very original figure that came out. You can see the box still has that opening, and it looks, yeah, it does look older, much older than what other figures looks like as far as the box is concerned. And as far as accessories, you can see these flame effects are totally different than previous versions. These has a glow to it, which looks really, really nice in person or on camera. Look at that! It has a glow that, yeah, the others does not have. And then here are some flaps. There's the calves, and then there's the back, and then a bunch of hands. And again, there's the figure. And for a old figure, I think it still holds up. It holds up better than some of the other ones. The legs are not loose at all. Look at that. Still retain its original stiffness. And flaps on the side right there. Yeah, good range of motion. Oh, and it has good range around the shoulders too. And this one also has metal feet. So there's the back of him. And I do really like the triangle arc reactor. A lot of people, some people don't, but I certainly like it. And there are two versions of Mark VI, and this is the original version. And next up, I will show you the updated version. Alright, and here it is. This is the Avengers Iron Man Mark VI Battle Damage version. Battle Damage Edition. So this is where they decided to make all the Avengers from movie 1. So they had to remake Mark VI again, but this time they added Battle Damage to it. So that is very nice. So it warrants another a purchase. So there's the back of the box. Now, as far as accessories, this one comes with quite a bit. We have some flame effects, of course, and then we have these blaster effect pieces, and then we have the shoulder rockets, and then these are the shoulder grenades, I guess. And then we have some shoulder rockets, and then we have flaps that opens up, and then we have the forearm rockets, and then we have a clean chest plate. And then we have the hand lasers, and then we have flaps for the back, for the calves, and then we have hands, and then we have a clean mask. And as for the figure itself, there it is. Now this figure does come with quite a lot of accessories, and here's two of them: battle damage chest plate, and then the battle damage face mask. Let me zoom in a little to show you guys what they look like. Here's the chest plate. For what it is, I think it's pretty good. The chest plate is, of course, it's removable. Let me remove that to show you what's underneath. There it is. And let me put this back on. And then as for the mask, there it is right there. There's the damage face mask. And the paint job on this one is in matte finish, unlike the previous version where it was in glossy finish. And here's what Mark VI looked like when it's in a clean version. So you just change out the chest plate and the face mask. And let me, of course, I want to do a comparison between the two. Mark VI, there they are. You can tell the paint job is different. One has a gloss finish. You might or might not be able to tell, but yes, there's a gloss finish right there. And the masks are completely different. Actually, the head is completely different. This one is more narrow. See, this one, it fills out a little bit with the ears, so that is nice. I do like that a lot. And even the eyes are much better. Look at that. There's the face of that one. There's the face of that one. Look at that. There's a huge difference between the two. And next up, we have Mark VII. This is also a lot of people's favorite armor. And there's the box, and there's the back. And as far as accessory, this one comes with some flame effects, of course, and a few extra ones. We have flaps with the shoulder rockets, and then we have the forearm rockets, and then we have the hand lasers, and then we have thigh rockets. I guess those are rockets. And then it comes with a bunch of hands. And there's the figure. And I didn't really notice it with the other ones, but this one has extendable arms. A little bit of extension for the arms there. It's a little bit loose. That's fine. Here's what it looks like. and paint job I think looks fantastic. And this one also has these metal feet. And here's what Iron Man looks like with some of these effects, some of these attachments switched out. So you can see these are the rockets right there, and then the thigh also has these. And then interesting that the back flaps, they all open. So there are four flaps back here, which is really nice. That's how he was in that film, in the Avengers film. So yeah, I really like that. So yeah, head could move up really well, so look at that. He could definitely do a flying pose while looking straight. Alright, next up we have is Mark 20 Python, and this is pretty much a Mark 7 and another Mark, I forgot which one that was, Heartbreaker, I think it's Heartbreaker, with part of Heartbreaker's accessories, part of Heartbreaker's limbs with combination of Mark 7. So there's the box. And as far as accessories, they're very similar to Mark 7. We have the shoulder rockets, the forearm rockets, and then the hand lasers, and then we have flame effects, and then 3 sets of hands, and there's the figure. And here's the figure. Let me do a little rotation just to show you guys. And then of course he has flaps on the back, just like the Mark 7. Right there, all 4 of them. And if you look at him from the front, you can tell his head, the top of his head does have a little bit of a mohawk going there, and then shoulder pads, and over here still exactly the same as Mark 7. Pretty much top half is like Mark 7, and then bottom half you can see the legs got some extensions here over on the inner thigh, and then also down here it's basically the Heartbreaker legs. I don't know whether they made the Heartbreaker for the SHF line, but certainly a figure I don't have. Hopefully they will eventually, maybe. That would be nice. And this one does have extended shoulders as well too. Extended arms. Well, shoulders I think, yeah. Alright, next up is one of the older figure. It is Tony Stark when he's designing Mark 42. So before Mark 42 I have to show this one for it to be chronologically. And there's the back of the box, shows a couple of pictures, really nice picture right here. Alright, as far as accessories, this one comes with the base right here, really nice. There's no light up features though, unfortunately. And then we have a pair of arms, a pair of legs, and then a pair of hands, and a bunch of naked hands. And there's Tony Stark. Now this figure was done a while back, and I think the likeness is still holds up. You could definitely tell it's Robert Downey Jr., who's Iron Man. Let me tilt his head back a little bit. And the eyes are nice, nicely painted. I think at this point they were doing the printing already for the face. And I think they did a really good job with it too. Let me see if I could get in any even closer. No, I can't. So yeah, you can see the eyes are a little blurry because it is printed on. But overall, I think they did a fantastic job with it. And just to get a look at the rest of the body, here it is. Overall, I think it's a really good figure, and interchangeable parts. Basically, all you have to do, pop these arms out. Where am I supposed to pop? Okay, the forearm section, I think, right there. And then you just pop this on here. Oops. Oh man, that's the joint. The whole joint came out. It's fine. I can fix that. There's no problem. Oh, might as well show you guys what it looks like, from the inside. Then there's that ball hinge joint. And there's the socket right there, and then there's a spacer piece just to fill out that gap. Let's see which way is this supposed to go. I think it's this way, right? No, this way, yeah. And then you just pop this back in. Wait, am I doing this correctly? Let me see. From the other side, it doesn't look like it's right. Okay, so it's this way. Okay. And pop this back on. Maybe I have to do it off camera. See, it might take a little bit of time. There we go. Now it's popped in. So which the spacer allows his arm to move a little bit, just so it has a little more range. And I like that. And then here's what the arm looks like with it when he's attaching the Mark 42 suit on. And let's switch out this leg too. See if I could pop this leg off. Oh, I can't. It's really tight. Maybe this leg is better. Nope, it's also tight, so I'm not gonna change it. So yeah, you get the idea. There's the forearm for Iron Man. And here he is, Mark 42. Once he has all the armors on, then he turned into Mark 42. And there's the box. Here's another one that's older. And you can see it has the window box. And there's the back. And as far as accessory, this one is very bare minimum. We have the flame effects, and then 3 sets of hands, and that's it. They were painted, the thumb is painted gold, with the index finger also painted gold. And there's the figure. And as far as the figure, this one is really nice. I do like the color scheme of the Mark 42, the more gold, less red. That look, I do like it, and the arms does extend out, and no torso extension or anything like that. Feet are also metal, so it balances really well. And let's take a look at him. And let's see if we could get a closer look at that face. So I'm going to tilt his head down a little bit, just so you guys can see better. There's his face. Yeah. I do like this armor quite a bit. And next up, we have Mark 43, which is essentially the same armor as the Mark 42, with just a different paint job. This time around is more red than gold. And there's the box. And on the back. And as far as accessories, of course, you guessed it, is exactly the same as the Mark 42, but it's a different paint job. That's it. And here's what Mark 43 looks like. Again, exactly the same as 42, just a different paint job. They literally flipped the gold with the red and call it a day. And I think more people prefer the 43 than 42 because it's more traditional colors, but I think I like the 42 just as much because it is quite unique that he has a little more gold, and silver is just a little more unique than your traditional Iron Man with more red than gold. So you can see the difference between the two. It's pretty much exactly the same. Like I mentioned, is literally a flip of the colors. And next up, we have the Mark 44, which is the Hulkbuster. And now this one is a big one because the name says it's Hulkbuster, so he has to be big. And there's the box. There's the back of the box. And here is Hulkbuster. And he does not come with any accessories whatsoever. And just to give you a size comparison, here's Mark 43 and next to the Hulkbuster, and you can see he is twice the size of him. And this figure does not come with any accessories whatsoever. The only thing that he comes with is a light up feature. He does have light up eyes, light up chest, light up legs, and stuff like that. I don't think he has light up hands. No, he does not have light up hands. And then, yeah, he does not have any of those accessories, anything. No Veronica, nothing. It would have been nice if he came with a Veronica and stuff like that, or some parts, or even the the power driver arm. That would have been nice, but nope, this one does not come with any of that. And figure itself is it's got a lot of metal pieces, not exterior, more interior for articulation, because some of the joints, since this guy is pretty big, so as far as some of the joints, they have to use metal, just so it doesn't end up breaking on you. But yeah, there are some metal pieces I could feel on the exterior, like right here, metal pieces there. Arms not so much. These are kind of cool, so this one extends out like that. And he has articulated hands, so all the fingers are individually articulated, and you can get him to do repulsor blast right there. And you just heard it, he has ratcheting joints, which is nice. Let me move the camera up a little bit so you guys can see the head and the body a little bit better. He does not open up. He's got really good range. Look at that. Head can do movement quite a bit. And then, yeah, so full range motions. Let's see, torso, he has really good range too. Not so much side to side. Yeah, there's still some. Yeah. And then the legs are kind of cool. When you shift, when you move the knee, panel shifts around, so that is really nice. I like that. And then legs do extend, lowered, I mean, so which allows him to do poses like kind of cool stands like that. So he is capable of doing a lot of cool poses for something this big and bulky, and but he is a little bit on the loose side. Oh, he has a butterfly joint too, so his arm could swing out as well. So yeah, but here you can see he's doing a repulsor blast pose. I think it's quite good for something like that, for something that big. I don't even think Hot Toys version can do that. Granted, the Hot Toys version can fit a full Mark 43 inside. This one does not. There are no openings or anything like that for you to even put part of it in there. And then a company that does it, I think 30 did a Mark 40 Hulkbuster as well, and theirs you could put half of Mark 43 inside, just so it's like some of these panels can open up so you could kind of see the Mark 43 in there, which is nice. I like that. But for SHF, they didn't do it that way. Instead, they opted for articulation, so they gave him a bit more articulation, more range of motions, instead of having this section hollowed out and be able to put a Mark 43 in there. And this one does have lighter features, which is nice. I like that for something like this. Alright, next up we have the Mark 45. There's the box, and there's the back. And as far as accessories, Mark 45 doesn't come with a lot. It comes with the flame effects, and then 3 sets of hands. But something I really do like is that they actually provided hand guards for all the hands instead of having you interchange them. And here's the figure. And 45. This was only featured very minimal in the film. This was in the second Avengers film, I think. It was only towards the end when he made an appearance in this armor when he was fighting Ultron. So yeah, so it's an okay armor. Not liking the face too much, especially the eyes. I think this one it's a little I don't know what it is. The eyes just doesn't do it for me. This whole armor. So yeah, but still there he is. Still a good looking armor. I think the Hot Toys version it's a lot nicer. But this is SHF, so you're paying far less than what you have to pay for Hot Toys, so yeah, you can't really compare the two. Push this back up there a little bit. And want to see the whole figure. And this also has this figure also has these weighted feet, metal die-cast pieces, I guess. So I do, this is kind of interesting. I do like this, the panels right there. Any panels that opens up? No, nothing. There's nothing that opens up back here either. And next up we have Mark 46. A lot of people like this armor because it was in the Civil War. It's a pivotal scene where he was fighting Captain America. So that was cool. It's a very important scene for the franchise, I guess. And as far as accessories, same thing. Flame effects, and then 3 sets of hands, and there's the figure. Now the paint job on this one is a little strange. You can kind of tell that the main chest area looks a little darker than the arms right here. Yeah, and I think overall the color is just a little too dark for this armor. I think in the film he was a little brighter than this. Just your regular Iron Man color, that hot rod red, I guess. That bright red. This is more like the Mark III armor color than anything, because the Mark III does look a little darker. But for this one, it looks yeah. This armor in the film shouldn't look this dark though. But still a really nice looking figure. The SHF version is definitely not as nice as the Hot Toys version, and, but still, this is a one that's very important armor to have. And next up we have Iron Man Mark 50. They made a few versions of this one as well. I think at this point they were trying to milk it as much as they can because it was towards the end of Iron Man, so they realized they need to make more money out of them, so that's why. And there's the back of the box. And as far as accessories, you can see there's a arm cannon right there. And then flame effects are now blue. And then there's another forearm rockets or cannons or something like that. And then we have 3 sets of hands. And then we have a base as well for this one. And there's the Mark 50. Alright, and here's a look at the armor. It's very sleek now. This is nanotech, so everything is just hugging the body. So I am not a fan of these type of armors because you can see all the definitions of the muscles and everything. It just doesn't look natural to me. Granted, they mention it's nanotech and all that stuff, but it just doesn't look like armor to me. It's too smooth. Well, I mean, I personally prefer armor that's more bulky, stuff like that, instead of these smooth lines and yeah, these organic style. Yeah, that's not my favorite. But it is still very pretty. And again, I think not just SHF. I think a lot of companies were milking this armor already, because in the film they have so many accessories for this guy that I think everyone was making 2 or 3 versions of the Mark 50 instead of making one version and giving us all the accessories. So yeah, but articulation wise, this one is still very good. It has all the range, and it doesn't impede with the articulation at all, even though it's more sleek looking. But yeah, as far as articulation, this one is still as good. It does have lower legs as well, and yeah, all the joints still very sturdy. And this also has metal feet, these die-cast feet to weight the figure down. And yeah, and there's the arm cannon right here. I get an idea of that. And then it's just a matter of pulling the forearm off and there, and attaching this on here. I believe it's this way, right? Or is it this way? Or is it this way? I'm not sure. I think it's this way. Is this even the arm for this? I think it is. Maybe it's not, because it doesn't look like it's fitting properly. Okay, looks like I had to push it a little further in, that's all. And here's what it looks like with the arm cannon, which is very bulky. I guess it serves its purpose though. So yeah, I think in the film he has two, one for each arm too. But we're only given one in this version. And next up we have 85, Mark 85. This was the one that I had a lot of issues with when I made the review, and a lot of people saying that I have a bootleg version, which is not a bootleg version, because here you can see there's the hologram right there, and then there's the back of the box, and it's just a figure that was poorly done. And as far as accessories, he comes with flame effects, and these are in blue. And then now this figure comes with 4 sets of hands. And there's the Mark 85. And here's what Mark 85 looks like. Let me zoom in a little bit just to show you guys. And you could kind of already see the issues I was having. The eyes, like it looks like one of the eyes is smaller than the other. You can kind of see it right there. That eye is a little smaller than the other one. And there's the back. And then another issue I was complaining about was the bicep section, or even not even the bicep just yet. The shoulder, you could, I'm not sure if you guys can see it. You can see there's a seam line right there. I mean, they could have done it way better than that. And over here as well, you can see the bicep section. There's a huge gunk right there, and same on this side. The molding is just poorly selected, the way they decided to create the seam lines. And yeah, you can just see it right there. There's that seam line right there, and then the thighs were even worse. You can see straight on seam lines all the way down. It just doesn't look pretty at all. You can see it right there, that seam line. They could have sanded it down a little bit, or do something with it instead of just getting it out of the mold and then just start painting it, I guess. And here's the rest of the figure, just so you guys can see what he looks like. And again, this is nanotech, so he is skin tight with this one. And next up, we have another Mark 85. Now this one is, they call it the Final Battle Edition. So there's the box, and there's the back. And as far as accessory, this one comes with quite a bit of stuff. We have the shield, we have a Stark head sculpt, and then we have a bunch of hands. We have quite a bit of flame effects. This is due to this contraption he has on his backside as well. And then he comes with a sword, and then a little end cap for the back. And here's the figure of Mark 85 in this final battle version. This thing is removable, but I'll just leave it on here as is. And these are actually, are they articulated? No, I don't think they are. But if you remove it here, see there's a little hole right there, is for that thing to plug it back up. And then, well, I'll just leave it off for now. You could kind of see he is very weathered up. He is very dirty this time around. This figure also has metal feet, just to weigh the figure down. And I will give you a closer look at this figure, just so you guys can see all the weathering they did. Well, I don't know. I think it's more of a wash, a dirty wash, instead of weathering. But yeah. And here it is. And you can still see the seam lines from the what I showed you on the previous figure. But let's get in. Here's the back side. And again, he just looks very dirty, that's all. And here we have the Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt. Is this better? Because this came out very recently. So did they update? Were they able to create a better head sculpt for Robert Downey Jr.? I don't think so. I think this has gotten worse actually. I think some of the other ones like the Mark, even the 42 when he was transforming into Mark 42, that one has a really nice head sculpt, and I think the Mark 4 also has a really nice head sculpt. This one, I don't think it looks as good as the other ones that they have given us before. And another Iron Man we have is the Mark 85. This is when they decided to milk it once more. We have the Mark 85. This is the, what is this? This is the I Am Iron Man edition. So it's not the final battle, but this is the I Am Iron Man edition. So yeah, there's the box and there's the back. And in this edition, we're given the environment piece, which is something cool. And then now we have both of the arm cannons. And then we have the Stark head. We have the gauntlet hands. There's one with electricity effects. And this is the one that's just clean. And then this is his regular hand. And he also comes with the snapping fingers hand. Alright, so let us get a closer look at that head sculpt. Yikes. Is this better? No, I don't think so. It has gotten even worse, I think, than the previous version of Robert Downey Jr. But this one does have some battle damage on him. You see blood running through his face there. I think they should have would they have done this? I think if you were gonna give us the head sculpt, I think you should give us the half burn head sculpt instead of this version, to me, because if you're snapping the finger and of course you're all damaged up, I think yeah, give us the half burn face version instead of this one. And this one, yeah, doesn't look that great. And then here's the hand, finger snapping. Snap, snap. And let's take a look at the rest of the body, the damages that's on him. For what it is, for something this size, I think they did an okay job with it. And the weathering is quite nice on this one, and even this armor still has a seam line. You can still see it, but the bicep's a little better though. You don't have that gunk over there. Yeah, this side is good as well. And there's the back side. Ooh, you can see there's that gunk right there. On the back is fine. I don't mind it, but don't do it on the front. And this one also has weighted feet. So yeah. And if you want him to have the armor on, then here's what his head looks like. I think with it being a third version, they shouldn't give us a regular head either. They should have given us a half exposed head or something. Now that would have been nice. Or the other version, because I don't think this one he was half. I think it was in Endgame is where half of his face was showing when he was battling Thanos. They should have done it that way. They should have done one of those head with half a face showing. And next up, I have a Mark 47 to show you guys, and here's the box. This is a dual pack with Spider-Man from Homecoming, and on the back, there's the box. But in this video, I'm only showing Iron Man, so I'm only going to show you Iron Man and not the Spider-Man figure. And as far as accessories for the Iron Man, it comes with the flame effects, of course, and then 3 sets of hands, and there's the Mark 47. And here's the Mark 47. He is exactly the same as the Mark 46. The only difference is that he has a different paint job on the lower half of him. You can see half of him is in silver, and yeah. So difference? No, there's no difference between this one and the Mark 46. Again, the only difference is the paint job. And figure-wise, yeah, identical, so not a whole lot more to say about this one. I did end up, well, initially, I wasn't able to get this one because it was a web exclusive. It was a Japanese store, or one of those Japanese online store. It was a web exclusive, and since I don't speak Japanese, I wasn't able to order one. And so secondary market, this thing was going crazy, so I decided not to get it. And initially I went and purchased a knockoff version, just so I have a Mark 47. And here I can show you a comparison between the knockoff and the authentic one. So the knockoff one is on the left here, and the real one is on the right. And you can kind of see they look very similar just through the naked eyes. You can see color is a little different. But not too bad. But if you look closely at it, you would notice there is a huge difference between the two. And here's a closer look at the knockoff version, and you can see the paint job is not that great. And then you can see on his face there's bumps all over, and then everywhere else is just a lot of bumpiness on this armor here. And then there's paint bleeds. A lot of spots there, paint bleeds, and then just overall the paint just does not look as impressive. You can see the material is just very bumpy. You can see there's like a texturing on it, which is not present on the authentic one. And you can see paint bleeds on the forearm there. And then just look closely at it, you can see, yeah, especially on the silver, you could really see the bumpiness on the armor itself. And now let's switch over to the authentic one. You can see there's no bumpiness, and then lines are really crisp, and you can see on the chest, and then the bicep as well. And then now to the silver, you see there's no bumpiness around the on the armor itself. It's painted really nicely. And even the knee, so like right there, the gold color is just way more yellowy than that orangey gold that he has there. And you can see, oh, look at the thighs, look at that. That swirliness on the armor itself, that's really bad. Look at that. Oh wow, you can see the bumpiness right there. So yeah, that's the knockoff version versus the real one. And then also if you move the figure around, you would see it too. So here you can see this one is very loose, this side is really tight, and then these flaps, they just comes down. They just come down without any friction whatsoever, and then everything else just feel a little weak. And then the thigh section right here is very soft. The knee joints, look at that, there's almost no resistance here. This one is a little bit better, but the other side is like super loose. And then he does have weighted feet, which is nice. Yeah, but it's just the arms are like really loose on this side. And if I mess with the authentic one, you can see this thing is tight. Is there even an extension? Oh yeah, there is an extension right there. It does extend out, but it's really tight. Everything is good and tight, and the knees, these are strong joints, and versus the knockoff version, it's really soft and loose. And here's what the box looks like for the knockoff version. I mean, the box looks nice though. I mean, It kind of has that same feel to it. It kind of has that same pattern, but the color is just different here. And on the back, it shows, yeah, it's even printed in Japanese too. I'll move the real one out of the way. But yeah, on the bottom here, you can see it has Japanese writing. Everything's all Japanese, but there is no, of course, there's no hologram sticker anywhere on this thing, so yeah. But for this one, does it come with hologram sticker? No, this one does not either. Oh, yeah, this one I got used, but it is from a reputable seller, so I know I'm getting the real thing from this one. But yeah, there's the fake one. Alright, next up, instead of doing Tony Stark Iron Man, now I gotta do some Iron Man that are war machines. So this is the Mark I war machine, and initially I wasn't able to get this one. I opted for the Revoltech version. That was a complete mistake. And this is the box, and let's show you the accessories. Alright, as far as accessories, you could tell this is from the time when they released the Mark VI, because you can see the flame effects are also as bright, and it looks like they're glowing, just like the Mark VI is. And then there's that what is that? What is this? I forgot what this thing is called. And then here are some rockets, and the ex-wife is right there, and then flaps, and then 3 extra hands. One is just to do the salute hands, salute pose, and then there's War Machine. And I must say, I am really liking this one. I finally was able to pick this one up as a used figure, but also was able to get it at a decent price, so that's why I jumped on it. And then Gatling gun, this one came out quite a while back, so I've noticed that there are limited articulation here. It can swing outward like that, but it doesn't go up though. I want the cannon to go up like that, because when he's not shooting, not in battle mode, I think this cannon was up a little bit, but unfortunately with the articulation points that this the arm has, which prevents him from doing that. So this thing cannot move up like that. So that's a shame. But it is a very good looking armor, and he has red eyes, which I like. And then these two, of course, you could remove these and switch out the other accessories. But let's take a look at the rest of him. Looks so pretty. I really like it, and he too has weighted feet. And then there's the backside of War Machine. Mark I. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite War Machine of them all, the Mark I. Out of all of them, yeah, this is my favorite. Alright, next up we have Mark II War Machine, and there's the box, there's the back. Alright, as far as accessories, a couple of flame effects right there, and then 3 sets of hands, and there's the Mark II. Mark II is definitely the least favorite of them all for me as far as War Machine is concerned. The rest of them, I think they're good, but Mark II is just a repaint of the Iron Patriot. The Iron Patriot is good because of the paint scheme is something different and unique. But if you turn him back into a War Machine, then it does not look as pretty. To me, it just looks very slimmed down, and especially when you compare it to the Mark I of the War Machine, he looks very slimmed down, which I am not a fan of when it comes to War Machine. But one thing I do like is the mask, though. The head, it has those lines kind of like Mark V Iron Man, and I do like that a lot. And next up we have Iron Patriot, and this is a lot brighter. Look at how colorful this one is, the red, white, and blue. There's the front of the box, and there's the back of the box. And as far as accessories, of course, it's exactly the same as the War Machine Mark II, but different colors. And there's the Iron Patriot. And again, this one is a lot nicer because of the paint job. It's got that red, white, and blue, and it was featured in the film way more than the Mark II. The Mark II was only in it wasn't even in Iron Man Mark III. It wasn't even in Iron Man 3. It was in one other film. I forgot which one it was now. It was so long ago. But here's a comparison between the two. You can see it's exactly the same. It's just a different paint job. And this one's glossy and this one's matte finish. So yeah, there's Iron Patriot. And next up we have War Machine Mark III. This one is a little nicer because they bulked the armor up a little bit, and it comes with quite a bit of accessories with this one. Well, in the film at least. Alright, as far as accessories, of course, you get the flame effects, and then he has a bunch of hands, and he also comes with this baton to hit Captain America with. And there's the War Machine. And here's a look at him. I do like the arc reactor on this one, and instead of a Gatling gun, it was on there before. They switched it out to something along this line, which is good. I like it. It swings around like that too, but it's situated back on his backside. So I like that a lot. It's got a couple of hinges to do that, and really nice. I like it, which keeps him nice and sleek. And look, he has a lot of attack kills on his chest there. A couple of stars right there, and this one looks great. I like this one a bit more. Still not my favorite. My favorite, of course, is the Mark I, and you can see the legs are beefier too. It's gotten a little beefier over time, I guess. And here you can see it says Mark III on it, 003, and there's the back side of him. And really pretty. And lastly, I think this is the last one I have, is the War Machine Mark IV. And this here is from Infinity War. And there's the back of the box. It comes with a lot of stuff too. And as far as accessory, this one comes with flame effects, of course. And then we have these rocket panels, and then that's the Gatling gun, I guess you could call it, and then a bunch of hands, and then flaps, and then here's the stand with the arms, and there is the Mark IV War Machine. And here's the Mark IV War Machine. The paint job on it is quite nice. The silver, I think they changed it up a bit, so it's a little bit brighter and more silvery, if that's something. But this one is a Mark IV, and it has gotten even bulkier, a little bit bulkier, but still not as bulky as the Mark I, in my opinion. And then I do like the backpack back here. This is where you house the Gatling gun, and then in the show, I guess it extends up and to shoot it with. But I like it store back here, and then you can see the backpack is quite big now on this one, because it has the shoulder cannons and all that built up here like that, so that's neat. I do like this version because it is bulkier, but again, not as good as the Mark I. And I think in the Hot Toys version, this one has a lot more lights too, so all these red bits, I think they're all lights from the if you have the Hot Toys version of this guy, then yeah. So still got really good range. Still got lower legs and lowering legs and stuff like that. Then range is still really good, and yeah, you could still do a lot with the SHF. I think you could actually do more with the SHF than you could do with the Hot Toys version. And just for the heck of it, I want to show all 4 of the War Machines here, so you guys can see the step it takes from how it went from Mark 1 all the way down to Mark 4, like the transformation yeah. But to me, Mark 1 is definitely the best. He's still the bulkiest of them all, if you could see it. I mean, you could argue that, hey, with the advancement of the technology, of course he's gonna get skinnier and skinnier because he could house all these weapons better that way. But to me, yeah, to me, I still prefer the bulkiness of the Mark 1, and the Mark 4 does look really nice though. You can see he's gotten a little well, actually, I think he has gotten more angular. You can see some of the lines here; they're way more sharper edges than the Mark 1 per se. So I think Mark 4 is actually more robust than any of the other ones, and he looks quite good. I like it, and you can see the silver paint is definitely different between all four. That one is very dull, and then this one got a little brighter, and then it's gotten a little darker in this one, and then this one got really bright. But the gray tone is pretty much the same. And then as far as the eyes, they're all red on all four. And Gatling gun, where they're stored, is different between all four. Lights, you can see, I mean, of course there are no lights on this one, but here you can see nothing here, nothing here. I think in the Hot Toys version there are some lights here, but the Mark IV got way more lights. And then the arc reactor is different too. Look at that, the shape of all four are different. That's very interesting. So that's all four of them. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it, but editing part would be a little more painful than it is, because I didn't go in order for some of them, so I have to re-edit some of them together. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any questions, you're welcome to comment down below. Let me know, and if you like it, then press a thumbs up on this video. Collection videos usually, I think people like watching collection videos more than anything else. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, if I have more, then I will make an update down the road sometime later on. But as far as right now, I think this is pretty much it. I know I still have the Hulkbuster Mark II not featured in this video. Unfortunately, I couldn't find him. I don't know where he is. Maybe I sold him already, I'm not sure. But as far as right now, I don't have him. So unfortunately, I can't add that into this video. But everything else I think is here. So there you go. There's my SHF collection of Iron Man. And thanks for watching.